Okay, I will call the regular meeting of the Everman City Council to order. It is Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025, and the time is 6:01. If everybody please rise for a moment of silence while I have a pledge of allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first thing on the agenda is consent agenda. Item A is minutes from July 8th, 2025, regular meeting minutes. July 8th, 2025, budget meeting minutes. July 11th, 2025, workshop meeting minutes. July 22nd, 2025, regular meeting minutes. August 5th, 2025, workshop meeting minutes. August 12th, 2025, budget workshop meeting minutes. And August 12th, 2025, regular meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 8th, July 11th, July 22nd, August 5th, August 12th, and August 12th minutes. I second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Poll the council.
Place 1.
Aye.
Place 2.
Aye.
Place 3.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next item is financials for July 2025. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I make a motion to accept the financials for July 2025. I second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Poll the council.
Place 1.
Aye.
Place 2.
Aye.
Place 3.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next item, presentation, swearing-in ceremony for Officer James Clark, ID number, badge number 279, and Officer Jennifer Frias, badge number 280.
And we have Chief Brooks here to do that.
There we go. Mayor and Council, it's a privilege to be able to do this, and thank you for letting us do it in front of you. I've been doing this a while, and there's 2 times particularly that stand out as very memorable times. One of them is when we get to see an old guy that is still in the business, that still has the desire and the heart to serve. We get to do that tonight. The other time is when you see new blood coming in, somebody that has the desire to serve, and this is their first opportunity. You get to see that tonight as well. With that, I would like to introduce you to our 2 newest officers, James Rufus Clark and Jennifer Frias.
Congratulations. Come on, do it. Do it, do it. Do it, do it.
To give you a little bit of background, Jennifer is a recent graduate of the Hill College Police Academy. She had applied with us, and in the process of her background, we spoke with her academy instructors and some of her classmates, as well as doing the normal background. Jennifer brings some uniqueness to our department. English is her second language. She is originally from Dominican Republic. Very, very happy to have her. She comes highly recommended by her staff and her classmates. The background investigator that was doing her background put in the report that she was highly recommended. They never used that word. Rufus, on the other hand, has been around a few more years than Jennifer has. He comes to us with 25 years of experience in law enforcement. He has supervision experience, training experience, firearms instructor. He's an instructor in several different disciplines in law enforcement. Brings a lot to the table. We're very fortunate to have both of these people with us to continue a long-standing career and to begin a new one. I'm just very happy they chose Everman. Thank you.
Okay, next time on the agenda is proclamation honoring September 11th as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. Proclamation honoring September 11th as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. Whereas on September 11, 2001, the United States of America suffered coordinated terrorist attacks that claimed the lives of 2,977 innocent people and forever changed our nation. And whereas we remember the extraordinary courage of first responders and civilian heroes who rushed towards danger to save others, including 343 firefighters, 23 members of the New York City Police Department, 37 members of the Port Authority Police Department, and 125 military and civilian personnel at the Pentagon. And whereas the selfless action of the passengers and crew of United Flight 93 who sacrificed their lives to prevent further loss stands as a timeless testament to American bravery and unity. And whereas the families of the fallen, the survivors, and the countless Americans who served in the days, months, and years that followed continue to bear the weight of that day, reminding us of our duty to support them with compassion and resolve. And whereas Patriot Day is also a national day of service and remembrance, calling on every American to honor the memory of those lost by performing acts of service, strengthening community ties, and renewing our commitment to preparedness and resilience. And whereas the City of Everman recognizes and honors our own first responders, police, fire, EMS, emergency management, code, public works, and the dedicated professionals of our Regional Communications Center, whose daily service and readiness protects our neighbors and safeguard our community. And whereas we affirm that remembrance without action is incomplete, and we pledge to transform memory into meaningful service, training, and readiness that keeps Everman safe and strong. Now, therefore, the Everman City Council does hereby proclaim September 11, 2025 as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance in Everman, and I encourage all residents to observe the moment of silence at 7:46 a.m. Central Standard Time, 8:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and at appropriate time throughout the morning, display the United States flag at half-staff from sunrise to sunset in honor of the victims and in tribute to first responders and service members, and engage in acts of service, preparedness, training, and community support that reflect the unity and spirit that carried our nation forward. Okay, in witness thereof, I have hereunto set by hand and cause the seal of the city to be affixed this 11th day of September 2025. I am tongue-tied today. Okay, where am I at?
And then, Mayor, in conjunction with that proclamation, Chief, do you want to, I know it's later on the agenda, but it's just a good time. Do you want to highlight the memorial walk or remembrance walk?
Absolutely. And to follow that up, if those of you in the audience or those of you watching would like to join us on Thursday, September 11th in the evening, obviously it's a weekday, so we'd like to respect people's work days, but we want to be all inclusive. So we set the time for 7 o'clock in the evening here at our Memorial Park, just right above Pittman Park. We will, very, very informal deal. We're going to walk around the park. The firefighters are going to wear their bunker gear and their air packs, just as if they did on 9/11. The law enforcement will be wearing their uniforms and vests. And we'll walk around the park carrying the flags and just having that moment of reflectance and remember all that was given that day. So 7 o'clock on Thursday. We look to see everybody there.
Next on the agenda is fiscal year 2025-2026 budgets presentation, Rodney Dryden, HUB International.
All right. Before he gets started, I just once again want to highlight the incredible work that Rodney's done. He was given a unique challenge once again this year and has once again rose to the occasion and has been able to provide us with some options that we can consider as a part of the budget for this year. So I certainly appreciate his work and keeping this in line with our budget and what our needs are currently. So I'm appreciative of that.
Greg, thank you. Mayor, Council, thank you for having me tonight. As Craig touched on, each year, we go through this process, and what's being distributed right now is just a real brief overview and snapshot, kind of the summary version of some of the work that we did. And Susan, thank you. I didn't see you sitting there. It's been a tough process this year. Our initial renewal from United Healthcare came out at about a 10% increase over current cost for our plans. The market was not very responsive for us, but the good news is just on our plans, we were able to get the increase to a net zero in cost. So over the last 6 or 7 years, we're actually averaging, on that first page you can see, we're averaging about a minus 3.5 since 2019 on cost. So you see the total numbers have increased. That's because our population has grown, our number of employees. But as an overall cost expenditure, we're averaging minus 3.5. So we're essentially at net zero this year. We were minus 3 the year before, minus 2 the year before that. That were made in budget. We had to bring in a fifth plan. We had to make some adjustments on that with the goal of keeping the employees' cost out of their payroll, that for those that cover dependents, to give them an option that didn't see an increase in cost, and we were able to accomplish that. In healthcare, unfortunately, we have 5 plans, but they don't all change at the same rate. Some go down, some go up, and so the net is $0 increase. And in doing that, the city reduced its contribution, I think, as council is aware, from basically $1,000 per employee per month to $900. So we had to work to find a solution for those who were attempting to cover dependents and keep their costs pretty well in check with what we're doing today. And I think we did that within about $12 of what they're paying now. So we did bring that solution that we believe worked. We are bundling all of our programs this year with United Healthcare. Currently, we just have our health plan with them. We are moving our dental, life, and disability along with vision to United in order to get what we call package and bundle discounting to get our cost to that net zero. So I appreciate staff's involvement. Craig and Susan really are good to work with because they're transparent on the goals and the requirements and the needs of this. me do my job and effectively represent the city. Happy to take any questions. Craig, did I cover everything that you would like? Susan?
Yeah, very much.
Any questions or comments? All right, appreciate it, Rodney.
Thank you.
Does it get any better than that?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you, Rodney.
Okay, next item is citizens' comments. Item A, public hearing to hear citizen testimony on the proposed fiscal year 2025-2026 budget. This budget will raise more revenue from property taxes than last year's budget by an amount of $139,061, which is 4.13% increase from last year's budget. The property tax revenue to be raised from new property tax added to the tax roll this year is $140,064. The time is 6:18. Our public hearing is open.
Mayor, we don't have anybody signed up to speak on this item. We do have it listed later on as an agenda item, which is under ordinance 842. As a matter of order, I would like to recommend that we switch items C and D. So we take the zoning case before ordinance 842, because I'm going to recommend that we convene into executive session to consult with the city attorney on the budget before we come back out in open session for adoption. And that will actually give us 2 executive session items. And Victoria, I don't know if we can. Can we do both those at the same time, or do we need to go in and come out? Go back? Okay. Perfect.
So, okay. Have no citizens' comments, so the time is 6:19 and public hearing is closed. Okay, next item, discussion items. Item A, monthly staff reports. Item 1, Police Department.
And I'm sorry, Mayor. Hold on. So, Mr. Booth, so on your form, you checked that you wanted to speak under citizen comments. Do you want to speak now, or do you want to wait until we get to that item? With that item? Perfect, okay. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. The activity that the police department experiences every month, it varies quite a bit. There are some similarities I'll show you here in just a minute. But for this past month, for the period of time between July 23rd and August 26th, that's when the data was collected, our officers responded to 2,141 calls for service. And out of that, there were 19 traffic crashes, a combination of 1 major accident, 15 minor accidents, and coincidentally, the minor accidents picked up about the same time all the construction hit. We had 15 alarm calls. Our assaults were down. We had 1. We assisted other agencies 16 times in that month. Responded to 52 disturbance calls. That was up quite a bit. We had our burglaries are down. Most everything is down. We had 23 suspicious person calls. Traffic enforcement activities resulted in 242 traffic stops, which was up considerably. Out of that, 153 of those stops resulted in citation, and 78 of them resulted in warnings. Update on our recruit that we have in the academy right now, Mr. Daquan Ryans, has about a month left in the academy, and then he will start his field training, and all goes well, he will be on the street on his own in just a few short weeks. You met our 2 newest officers, Officer Prius and Officer Clark. Both are currently in field training. Officer Clark should be getting out of field training rather quickly. Officer Prius will continue for quite some time because she is a brand new recruit into the business. So far, the performance reports we're getting from the field training officers, both of them are very, very good. No negative comments so far. We have another candidate in the hiring process. He's in the background investigation process right now. If all goes well with that, he will be going the next step in the hiring process very soon. We're which will get us closer to being full staffed again. Not quite there yet. We did have one position that was left open with Officer Ray's departure. He left us to go into the private sector and make some money. At least that's his hope. That left a vacancy in the SRO division, and the school district opted to reduce that position for budgetary concern. So that position will not be filled. I've got a few slides here to show a little bit of an overview of the year's activity. I'm going to start with accidents. We don't have a lot of accidents. We don't have the highway. That helps us. You can see the most we had in 1 month was 6. Usually we're a pretty even line across there. If you go to the next one, it shows the minor accidents. Increased quite a bit, especially in August. Most of them were construction related. And then we had some hit and run data to put in there as well. We don't have that many hit and runs. Most of our people, if they bump into something, they own up to it. Then we have, to go along with the traffic crash activity, we have traffic enforcement activity to let you see pretty much what the standard is throughout the year. Pretty even. Got a couple of dips in there. Again, in August, traffic enforcement really stepped up. The violator contact stepped up. That doesn't necessarily mean citations. Next one shows the citations. Now, it says citations issued, and what this is from the call sheet data. This is not from the court. So when they check out on a traffic stop, they can issue a citation. They can issue multiple citations, but they'll clear the citation. That's what this is. So there are more citations than what this reflects, because one individual may get several. And then the warnings pretty much fall in line with that. Warnings also increased quite a bit with the increased violator contact. And to give you an idea on the crimes against persons, that's the assaults, robberies, anything that directly affects a person. Look at there. We only had 1 robbery so far, and I hate saying that because we have some precedent set. Sometimes when a chief mentions exact statistics on some offenses, he tends to invite them, and they happen within the near future. We're trying to break that. Go to the simple assaults. Simple assault is offensive contact. It can be a fight. It can be any number of things that does not result in a serious injury. We did have a spike in that in May. Not really sure why, but still, it's not that much of a spike. For the month of May, we had a total of 8 assaults. That's not bad. Then the next one, we're showing the aggravated assaults, and part of my assaults stayed there. Aggravated assaults, just like robbery, we have 1. We've had 1 serious assault that resulted in a serious bodily injury. That is not bad. Just to give you an idea of what the year's activity is, we pretty much hold an even keel. Well, in the past couple of these I've given you, I've shown you the rise and fall of how much change there is month to month. Sometimes you lose sight of how even and how low it actually is. We do have a very low crime rate for a city our size, and especially being surrounded by Fort Worth. We expect a lot more. Any questions?
Nope. Thank you for the good work.
Thank you.
Next item is code enforcement.
Hello, everybody. So for the month of August, we had a lot. So I answered, especially from the Blitz, we had a lot of phone calls and emails that I answered, about 38. There's probably a little more than that, but I jotted down what I could remember. 3 open records requests completed, 36 closed code violation cases. I took my 5-day basic code enforcement class. That was fun. Tomorrow I'll probably sign up for the test and get that handled and take it. Had to do one invoice because I had to get the City of Everman Parks Department to mow this Munet property down here. So I sent them that, and tomorrow I'm gonna follow up with that and probably have to do a lien on it because I haven't heard anything back from that yet. Had about 54 code violation letters sent out. 15 of them were high vegetation, 20 were trash and rubbish, 3 of them were low-hanging trees over street, 4 unregistered vehicles, 7 vehicles parked in yards, 2 sanitary drainage systems, which means they had like the washing machine pipes coming out of their garage, flowing down onto the driveway into the street, so I had to get them on that. 4 dead or diseased trees, 1 no permit violation, which a guy, I just so happened to drive by and the guy was getting his yard new irrigation, so I had to talk to him about that. 3 duty to maintain drainage ways, 1 ponding of water causing mosquitoes, and then I have worked with the cops and we made a building substandard. They had a lot of issues, parking lot maintenance. They had some potholes and restriping they needed to do. Plumbing and system fixtures, which they had a pipe that run down by their emergency exit door, blocking about a foot off the ground. Some refuse containers, and they had a lot of litter. Minor electrical issues, a bunch of panel covers needed to be, and some bulbs. The emergency door was blocked by a bunch of ladders and other junk, and then they needed to get the building repainted. Also had 8 houses with no water accounts that were still getting water usage. And then I did about 80 houses of the blitz. 67 of them completed their violation warnings, and 13 of them I had to send letters out to. Any questions?
I have a question. On Forest Hill Drive, directly across the street from Souter, whose responsibility is it to mow that grass right there that's, I guess on the east way, I guess that's what
Is
you
it
would
on,
call-
in that, like the
It's
empty
on
lot?
the street,
Oh, it's
yes.
on the street?
Yes.
I'm assuming it should be the contractors we hire, or the Public Works hires. If it's past that last hydrant, then that must be either Forest Hill or Fort Worth.
No, it's directly across the street from Souter.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think anybody ever mows.
In the Columbine neighborhood, but on the side of the road?
Directly, right before you turn left onto Wisteria.
I'm pulling up the map right now.
Yeah, that should
So I can-
either be,
So looking at that, the city of Everman does not have any right-of-way that extends past the roadway. Therefore, any grass that is growing
Should be the
there is the
homeowners.
responsibility of the property owners on the side of their property, just as it would be in front of their property. So
Well,
we
I-
have an easement, but there's no right-of-way that's actually owned there by the city.
Well, I don't know if they're even aware that that's their responsibility,
Okay.
because I don't think anybody ever mows that
Okay.
right there. And you've got to walk by there.
all righty. I don't know if you want me to make a newsletter and I can put it on the website, or I can go and let those people know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you would.
Okay.
All the above.
I got you.
Thank
I'll
you.
take care of it tomorrow. Any more questions?
Also, it's in a couple more months, it'll be Christmas time.
Okay.
But you know, there is an ordinance to remove the Christmas lights.
Yes.
And some lights have been up all year.
Okay.
But, I mean, I don't know if you want to just go on and wait till next year. since
Well,
it'll be a couple of months.
on the code on that, I think we have to give them till February. I think they get a few months after Christmas. Take them down, then after that I'll
Right,
start.
it's gonna be
Right.
Christmas again, so.
Yeah. So,
Might just
I already
look
got one
into
person a
that
few
next
months ago
year.
for that. I got one person a few months for that, but I'm trying. It's just me.
Okay. Let me ask you though, on the streetlights,
Okay.
is that something that is reported to the city, or do they just need to call the TXU?
So you can do either or. You can
Right.
report it through the city's report a problem feature, in
Right.
which we just in turn go onto the Encore website and report the outage there. Or you can go directly to the Encore outage reporting. And it's a tool, it's available on our website, there's a link there. You can go there and directly report it. The benefit, if you report it directly yourself, then whenever the streetlight issue is fixed, you'll get a text message directly from Encore letting you know it's fixed. If you report it through us, you won't get the follow-up letting you know it's been corrected, but you can report it yourself.
So normally, how long does it take for them to do that? You know, months,
They
years?
normally come right
Yeah,
out.
it's-
Come right there on
Do
the corner
they?
by the water tower.
Okay.
And they'll ask if it's, in the front or the back or whatever, so.
Well, I had reported one over off of, I think it's Heathcliff and something. They said there's two of them over there in that area that've been out, but, and they still haven't been fixed, and I didn't know if they needed to call.
If that ever happens, then I would always encourage you or any resident to contact City Hall. We work directly with a contact out Encore, and Gilbert can reach out to our contact at Encore to make sure that they're getting that addressed.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Any more? All righty. Thank you.
Okay, next item is animal services. That'd be you.
Hold the button long, Mayor Council. I've had the report here for July and August since we missed July, so just kind of catch up. For total intake of dogs, we took in 52 dogs in July and 48 dogs in August. And it was pretty evenly divided between Everman and Forest Hill. Our cat intake in July, we took in 29, and we took in 2 in August, so we didn't have very many in August. And again, it was pretty evenly divided, especially in August. Outcomes, you'll see that our outcomes to rescue groups have really dropped in the last couple months. Our rescue groups, they're telling us they're fosters, they're having trouble finding fosters, and their rescues are really full. So those numbers have really dropped with them coming to get our animals, and you'll see that in both July and August. Because a lot of the fosters, they're going on vacation, they got the kids and stuff, so they're hoping that'll start picking up here now that school started. So with that, our live release rate was 76% in July and 70% in August. And our live release rate for dogs was 86% in July and 79% in August. Our live release for cats was 56 in July, and I know that looks weird, 0 in August, but we had 2 cats, and the 2 cats were both very sick. So that's why that number looks horrible. Our field calls, in July we did 96 calls for service. In August we did 119. For phone calls, we received 1,695 calls in July and 2,066 in August. And our events, Mindy's been doing just an outstanding job with the events. But in July, she did 2 events and got 6 dogs adopted. And in August, she was only able to do 1 event since we're a little short-handed right now. But during that 1 event in the Clear the Shelter, she was able to get 6 dogs out. And we were just talking, just last weekend, she got 9 dogs out. So we're picking that's picking up pretty well. Any questions? Thank you.
Next item is Public Works.
Good evening, Council. Good to see you all. Just wanted to also review for July and August. There in your packets, you'll see there in your second page. In July, we did 13 potholes in total. And this month, the past month of August, it was 14, including main breaks. So some of those main breaks are pretty big. You'll see some in the following pictures there. Work orders, we did 17 plus others that were not on the work order system, which is 5 more. And the events set up for the Civic Center here, on July we did 7. In August it was 10 of them. And we almost completed our goal for the year in doing dead-end projects with our department. So I'm pretty excited. I think we did a great job. If you go around and look at the dead ends around town, you'll see them that they're clean. They're being trees are being cut down and stuff like that. It just looks a lot nicer and cleaner. So I'm happy for the work the guys have done this year. Also, of course, we got additional building, park, and maintenance routine work for parks and streets. On the following page there, you see a couple of potholes they fixed. One of the big ones was there in the main break towards the bottom. We had to literally cut it out, make it look really nice. and then go ahead and redo it. So there at the end, you see the finished product. It looks really clean. Those valves are done with concrete, so they're not going to sink down, or we're able to use those valves in the future if we needed to. So that's something else we're doing new as well in the department. The next page, you see some of the signage and stuff we've been doing here on Wichita. The road has been completed, which is waiting on some other striping and other things that are going to be going on Wichita this week. Following, here's a picture of the dead end main. It's towards Columbine area. If you swing by there, it looks a lot better. And I'm sure some of the folks here have seen them. But now let's move on to water. We have work orders over 100 plus. We also did a Shelby well tank repair. It was really bad. It was taken care of. It was welded, painted. It looks really nice. And it's back in operation as well. We replaced a 6-inch water valve in Forest Hill, and we did a 2-inch water line at Hummel that we had to cap or cut. They did 5 curb stops, 1 service line, 2 big main breaks, replaced 30 feet of sewer line by Angela Court, and they did a couple of sewer line backups, removed some meters, and did some reporting for the state and for the county as well. And towards the bottom, there's also a couple of pictures of the guys performing the work. One of those was the Angela Court. That was a really tough one. The guys were out there almost 14 hours or a little bit more. It was a really hard job, but we were able to accomplish that job there as well. Any questions, Mayor, Council?
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is fire department.
Mayor, council, first off, I'd like to apologize. Obviously, you'll notice that I haven't been here over the past few meetings. Obviously, my duties also include going to other meetings on a monthly basis, and unfortunately, ESD has scheduled their meetings to coincide with ours for the last few months. So that's where I have been, because I do want to make sure that everything's going to be kosher for us going forward. So hopefully, we're on different schedules now, and so everything should be all right. So with that, I have missed a few, so I've got a bigger than normal amount of responses and call volume on here, because I wanted to not exclude anything. So this is the calls for service from June 25th, 2025 through September 5th. They total 232. The average response time is 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Dispatch to en route, or the shoot times, is 1 minute and 9 seconds. Total in-city overlapping emergency incidents is 25, or 11% of the calls for that time period. As requested by the city manager to start developing historical data for overlapping calls and response times. So as you see there, I've as far back as I could pull the data from October of 2023, we've got the overlapping calls. As you notice, there's peaks and valleys. Obviously, it's kind of feast or famine in our industry, but the overall trend is a gradual increase in overlapping calls. And then below that, you'll see response times.
Hang on real quick. So just to clarify, because overlapping calls, I know you and I understand that, but for everybody else, overlapping calls is when your crews are already out handling one incident, and simultaneously, while your staff is already dealing with one incident, another incident occurs that either you have to try to respond to, or we have to get mutual aid to come and respond to.
That's
right?
correct. Yes.
Okay.
That would be two emergency incidents active at the exact same time, requiring either a double response or splitting our crews, and however we can manage that incident. So a lot of times, if it's an EMS call, if the patient's stabilized, then the truck or whatever other first responding apparatus, they'll cut loose from that original call and go to the second call, and then we'll request the mutual aid ambulance to the second one. Or if they're tied up, then I'll respond to the secondary, because I carry a full accoutrement of ALS equipment on the back of my Tahoe. So those are those incidents that do increase our overall average for response times, because now we're also including the response time of that mutual aid ambulance into there. So as you can see below, the table for response times, I was only able to pull precise data from January of 2024. I wanted to make sure, I know that there's a few months where we were a month and a half or just under a month, and so I was doing the exact same time frame for each month of data. As you can see, our response times have been trending down overall. There's the anomaly there around May of 2025. That was due to a few county responses that we went to that were far mutual aid response. They've got to be included, but that does throw off of the averages quite a bit. We're working on redesignating our box alarms, our box responses, so that way we can better extract the data that is solely city information and then county responses. So hopefully moving forward after October, we're going to be able to start distinguishing between the two a little bit better and provide a little more clarity. Incidents by response type for fire type emergencies, which are going to, like I said, building, vehicle, grass, etc. Those are going to be a total of 16. Medical emergencies, 158. Motor vehicle accidents, a total of 14. Hazardous conditions, 15. Entrapment or rescue, 1. As you may have seen on Facebook, the vehicle off the roadway into Chambers Creek. The guys did an awesome job getting there, getting the scene stabilized, requesting a hazmat control company to get there as quick as possible to mitigate any kind of further extension of the spill under the creekway. So, and then 29 about any other call type. Staffing, we still have one of our new firefighter paramedics that's in the FTO process. Hopefully he will be finishing by the end of the month. Everything is looking positive for that to be accomplished, and he'll be released, and he will be moving to fill one of the open spots on a different shift, Training, we've got one personnel that will be participating in the TCFP driver operator training next month. He should be in it actually this week, but there was an issue getting the grant approval, so we'll be pushing that to next month. The company level training, we've been prioritizing those guys every morning. Train first thing is kind of the moniker that we go with. And so I want them to prioritize coming in and doing that company level training. They have actually been able to register within this specific time period, 256 hours total of training between the 2 and full-time personnel. So that's a lot of training that they've been doing to better prepare themselves for the emergencies that we face daily. Also, I added on here, I will be out of the office October 13th through 17th, completing my year 2 training for the Certified Executive Professional Designation through Texas Fire Chiefs Association. So I will be finally done with that, but I've got to go to San Marcos to complete that. Other updates, the city asset auction should be live before the end of the week for completion before the end of the fiscal year in this month. There's, I believe, a number of 42 different separate items on there. And then ISO reevaluation process and submission of information has been completed, submitted. We are just waiting for his response to tell us whether we're a 2, 3. Definitely not a 1. I'd love to be a 1, but either a 2 or a 3. And the explanation behind that. So that could take, we're on their time schedule. So it should be before the end of calendar year that we'll know that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, but budget ISO, they kind of go hand in hand. We're talking about dollars. Have we briefed the council on ISO? Have you briefed them on how ISO went or what you're anticipating ISO to come back with?
I think we vaguely,
Okay.
but not to. I mean, I'd be happy to give the 10,000-foot view.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be worth it considering we're going to be discussing budget tonight because that
Absolutely.
obviously has an impact on the citizens too.
Absolutely. So the last time that we were reviewed through ISO was in 2016. As you know, back then it was the Everman Volunteer Fire Department and Everman EMS. There was two members on duty daily, but they were not firefighters. They were EMS only. And so that's what gave us the designation of an ISO 4. I will add, though, that is a very respectable number for the operations that we had at that time. There are career paid departments that had the exact same designation for whatever their deficiencies have pushed them down to level 4. So it was very respectable for what we had. Obviously, since then, there's been a number of improvements. Been a small number of staff increase, equipment increase, response level increase, communications. I mean, you name it, across the board, we've got every different classification through waterway, because the public works and water distribution is a big part of it. Communications is a big part of it, and then fire equipment and fire response. They look at our data, whether it be our response, our times, our in or out times, our on-scene times, what number of apparatus are responding, how many personnel are responding in that first alarm assignment to a fire, the gallons per minute that we're able to provide for that. And so the general response that we have received from our ISO assessor was, we're a shoo-in for a 3. And you can quote me on this one, hand to the Lord. The difference, he stated the difference between us receiving a 2 and staying at a 3 would be staffing. That is our limitation right now, because ISO does base their approach for minimum number of on-scene personnel within 8 minutes of the initial alarm. So obviously the city of origin getting the most amount of personnel that they can there as quick as they can really helps with that, because we can't do anything about a mutual aid company coming in and assisting. They've got amount of time travel, it is what it is. So however many people we can get there, that does boost our score. So every additional person does carry weight to reduce us from a 3 down to a 2. And that is my overall goal. That was my goal when I initially set forth with the request to purchase an aerial apparatus for the 105-foot aerial device. The goal was to get us down to a 2. Do I think that we could get down to a 1? Hopefully, one day. But that's going to take 12 guys on duty and a number of different improvements. But you know, I think a 2 is a very respectable goal to obtain.
Well, and going from a 4 to a 2, so y'all know, is a big impact on the residents and their insurance rates, property owners and insurance rates.
Yeah.
So if we are successful in going from a 4 down to a 2, all of our property owners will see a dramatic reduction in insurance rates that they have to pay each year. So that's very helpful to the resident equally as much as taxes and everything else. ISO just oftentimes kind of gets overlooked because it's a hard thing to achieve. It's usually a very expensive thing to achieve. But we've got great staff in Public Works and Fire Department, and I know y'all have been working really hard at trying to do what you can to get that. So I look forward to hopefully getting down to a 2 and providing our people with an awesome reduction in insurance. No, you're good.
To put it in perspective, to follow up on that, the averages, and obviously there's always extenuating circumstances that will change one way or the other, but the averages, they give a range of anywhere between $600 and $1,500 per ISO point of savings that a homeowner will fill. So if we go down from a 4 to a 3, anywhere between $600 and $1,500 you can potentially save. Again, if we go down to a 2. So that's why our goal is to get it as low as we possibly can.
How short of staff are you?
Say again?
Short staff?
How short staff? Well, that depends on the standard that we're asking here. To meet an ISO standard, that would be give us what we need. We realistically need to have 5 full staff with 3 on the fire apparatus and 2 on the ambulance. Currently, we have a staffing of 3 on 2 of the shifts and 4 on one of the shifts. So it's 3, 3, and 4. And that's what has been something that has been a goal that the city manager and the finance director has been assisting me with to help push that along and get us to the adequate, so we can provide a good response if you're facing an emergency.
Any questions or comments? Next item, upcoming events and activities. Item 1, 911 Remembrance Walk, September 11th. I know we
Just want to list them all, and I'll just put on
okay. And then item 2, Hispanic Heritage Celebration, September 27th. Item 3, National Night Out, October 7th. Item 4, Halloween Festival, October 30th.
All right, so Chief Whiteley already talked about our September 11th Remembrance Walk, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse now. I think everybody will look forward to a good event on Thursday. This year, we are partnering with the City of Forest Hill for Hispanic Heritage Celebration. I believe it was Councilwoman Davila who had a conversation with one of the council members over there about the potential of us partnering together. So they reached out and asked if we would like to do that. They are fortunately, and I'm very grateful, doing most of the legwork. So we're just kind of jumping in and supporting them where we can. So that's very helpful considering all the other events and things that we have that they're taking the lead on it. So that'll be on Saturday, September 27th. It'll be at the Forest Hill Civic Center, which is located right off of Wichita Street. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They'll have all kinds of food truck vendors. They have some folkloric dancers that'll be there, and lots of local vendors and craft sales and things going on. So great opportunity to come out and celebrate. It's totally free. And then one of our biggest events of the year, National Night Out, it's always the first Tuesday in October. That'll be Tuesday, October the 7th, right here at the Everman Civic Center. We plan to have all the same great activities that we have every year. We'll have the fire department perform a vehicle extrication demonstration. We'll have our specialty units out there with the drone and K9 performing demonstrations. Public Works will be there with their fun toys for the kids and allow kids to climb on the trucks, those kinds of things. So it's a great time for everybody to come out and enjoy a good night out. And then lastly, coming up is our Halloween Festival. We are partnering once again this year with the Timberview Farmstead. It'll be on Thursday, October 30th. Last year we did it on a Friday, and unfortunately that conflicted with high school football, and it really prevented from the school district being able to be as involved as they had been previously. So we wanted to make sure that we did it on a different night, so we're doing it on Thursday. Plus Friday happens to be Halloween. We don't really want to compete with all the other Halloween festivals going on. So Thursday, October 30th will be the event. Again, completely free. Timberview Farmstead's going to have their beautiful pumpkin patch all set up. There's no admission to go out and check out their pumpkin patch and just come out and enjoy the farm. We'll have a ton of vendors. We've already got a ton that have signed up just in the last couple of days of announcing it. So we'll have a ton of vendors out there ready to distribute candy as well as market and sell their merchandise. So it'll be a good time. That's it.
Okay, next item is staff report, Wichita Street construction project.
I just wanted to give you all a quick update that Wichita Street is like 99.5% done. Very thankful to Commissioner Miles and his staff and his willingness to step up and cover the cost of Wichita at 100%, minus the striping, but okay, we're okay with that. We'll take that. But the cost of the road reconstruction was covered by the Commissioner's office at 100%. So we're very glad to have our portion of Wichita. So now if anybody's got any complaints about Wichita Street, they need to call the city of Fort Worth or somebody else because it's not Everman. Ours is new. Ours is new. It's not us anymore. But there's just a couple more things, small things that are left on the agenda to complete, including the ballards and things up here at the Y, but otherwise it's a done deal. So very glad and very thankful to get that one off of our list.
Okay, item A, consideration of possible action. Item A, resolution number 2025-08-04, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Everman, Texas, approving a negotiated settlement between the Atmos City Steering Committee, ACSC, and Atmos Energy Corp. Mid-Tex Division regarding the company's 2025 rate review mechanism filing, declaring existing rates to be unreasonable, adopting tariffs that reflect rate adjustments consistent with the negotiated settlement, finding the rates to be set by the attached settlement tariffs to be just and reasonable and in the public interest, approving an attachment establishing a benchmark for pensions and retiree medical benefits, requiring the company to reimburse ACSC's reasonable rate-making expenses, determining that this resolution was passed in accordance with the requirements of the Texas Open Meetings Act, adopting a savings clause, declaring an effective date, and requiring delivery of this resolution to the company and the ACSC's legal counsel. So I will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution number 2025-08-04 as read.
Aye. Second, sorry.
I know, yes, I was focused.
Okay, so motion been made second. Any discussion? This is the typical deal we do every year,
Yep.
so,
Yeah, this is provided by Lloyd Gosselin, which is our representative with the Atmos Steering Committee, who we pay to represent us and make these recommendations. Recommendation is to
all right. That being said, would you poll the council?
Place 1. Place 2.
Aye.
Place 3.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Place 6.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Next item, item B, resolution number 2025-09-02, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Everman, Texas, approving and adopting the updated comprehensive financial management policy statements for the City of Everman, providing for an effective date and providing an open meetings clause. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 22250902 as read.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion?
just want to clarify, so the majority, the majority of these updates are all legislatively required updates due to the most recent legislative session. Prime example of that is the cap on bid requirements being raised from 50 to 100,000, those kinds of things. So the majority of these changes are all related to the legislative session. There are a couple of very unsubstantial changes as far as policy wording and things, but nothing substantial that would change how our policies and function is now.
So, any questions or comments? Would you poll the council?
Place 1. Place 2.
Aye.
Place 3.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Place 6.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, and we're going to drop down to item D, zoning case. Council will conduct a public hearing on case number 4360, a request for zoning change for A2 single-family residential to C1 neighborhood commercial for a property located at 503 West Enon Avenue. I need to read that. Okay. All right, so time is 7 o'clock. I'll open the public hearing.
All right, so Mayor and Council, as you may recall, this is a city-initiated zoning. What that means is that the city owns the property. It is staff's recommendation to propose a zoning change at this location with the intent ultimately to market this property for potential developments. We do have a couple of speakers on this, and I think one of the biggest concerns is what if we change it from residential to neighborhood commercial, what is it the city is looking to build? And although that is truly not a part of the zoning process and really shouldn't be considered when you go to make a zoning change, know that because this is a city-initiated zoning, you absolutely have full authority to negotiate with whatever purchaser you want as far as deed restrictions and things. Our purpose in staff is we don't want to put in a convenience store or something else there that would just be a blight to the community. Our goal is to utilize this piece of property and identify some potential gaps we have within the community in service that we can hopefully try to attract and bring in. Things such as maybe a medical component, a doctor's office, something else there that would be beneficial to the community as our target in our goal. The last thing we want is to put anything blight or anything that would attract some problems there. We want it to be a nice development that will complement the city and complement the neighborhood is the ultimate goal. But again, we can't add any restrictions as far as the zoning. I mean, if you approve zoning, zoning will stay that, so long as either A, you change the zoning, or B, if we were to sell it with deed restrictions of some sort in place when we go to negotiate contracts on a conveyance. But that's the ultimate goal here. This did go before Planning and Zoning Commission. Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously passed a recommendation for approval, and so it is now before you. It has been properly published and posted. So if approved today, then we would come back with you to start the process of marketing that property for potential development. We do have 2 speakers that have signed up. I don't know if the second one wants to speak. One of them is Mr. Andy Booth. You want to come up and speak?
Good evening. My name is Andy Booth. I have been a Everman resident since '63. I've seen a few changes in Everman. One thing that we've got roads coming in that are just almost overwhelming anymore, but we're restricted by the roads that come in, the number of roads that are coming in. I want the council to know I'm not against them changing the ordinance to commercial. I would like for, I'm surprised that property has been there, and I did not realize it belonged to the city, and that it had never been, nothing developed on it. As residential, if you would talk to the people that are building the houses right off of Shelby Road, up by the junior high, I believe you could probably put 4, maybe 5 houses in, but what I've seen them do, I don't know that that's what Everman really needs. One of the concerns that I have is that the type of business that will go in if it is commercial. And I hesitate to say that I'm not for another liquor store, but I'm not for another liquor store. I'm not for another convenience store that sells any and everything. I would like for the city, if they do go commercial, and I appreciate what you said about a doctor's clinic or something of that sort. The city has benefited from the McDonald's. I think they might be able to benefit from a Chick-fil-A. I don't know, but there's businesses that would be good for Everman, and I just ask that if you do go commercial, that the business that you sell the property to, that they are beneficial to Everman, not just to the people that are buying the property, and not just for the money that Everman will get from selling the property, that it benefits all of Everman. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we also have Mr. Dennis Melton. Would you like to speak? No, sir? You're good? Okay. That's all we have. So, Mayor and Council, if you are so amenable to pass this, then it would require you passing an ordinance which is provided for you as item B on the agenda. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Or as this moves forward, if you have any direction as to what it is specifically you want to see, as staff, we're always open to hearing what it is you want, and we'll try to target that as best as we can.
I just, the same concern that he has, I just really want something beneficial for the community, for Everman, for everybody involved. And if we can put those stipulations, or if we can determine what goes in there, then I'm all, yeah, for sure, for this new commercial property.
Yeah, so this property cannot be conveyed or developed without council approval. So I would say that it absolutely has, I don't know why it does that. It absolutely has to come back to you for your consideration and approval, and the public's really, because they'll have an opportunity to know what's happening, when it is, and provide their comments on that too. So that's the beauty of having a city-initiated zoning on city property.
Sounds great.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna drop down to item B. Consideration action. What's that? Oh, that's right. All right, the time is 7:07. I close the public hearing. They you brought that up. Now we'll drop down to item B, consideration action of ordinance number 844, an ordinance of the City of Everman, Texas, amending the comprehensive zoning ordinance, map and plan of the City of Everman, Texas, as heretofore amended by granting a change in zoning from A2 single-family residential to C1 neighborhood commercial for an approximately .31 acre parcel designated as Vaughn RA Addition, Lot 6 and 7, Block 2 in the town of Everman, Tarrant County, Texas, according to the plat recorded in volume 11848, page 1831, deed records of Tarrant County, Texas, and being more commonly known as 507 West Enon Avenue in the city of Everman, Tarrant County, Texas, providing a repealing clause, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, and providing a penalty of fine not to exceed the sum of $2,000 for each offense, and providing an effective date. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve consideration and action of ordinance number 844 as read.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Would you poll the council?
Place 1.
Aye.
Place 2.
Aye.
Place 3.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Place 6.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Now we're going to executive session?
Victoria, do you want him to read onto the record item C before we go into executive session, or? The budget ordinance?
Okay, so Mayor, I'll try to make it easy for you. On item C, ordinance 842, staff's going to recommend we go into executive session under section 551071 to seek advice from the city attorney before consideration. And then, since we're already going to be in executive session, it would be staff recommendation to also handle executive session item 9A, which is section 551074, personnel matters, past performance and review and evaluation of the city manager.
We'll go into executive session. Time is 7:10. All right, I'll call the meeting back to order. Time is 9:11. But are we taking, we're not doing, we don't have any, okay, we are out of executive session, no action was taken. Let's see, where am I at? Item C, ordinance number 842, an ordinance adopting a budget and appropriating resources for the budget year beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026, approving budget figures for fiscal year 2026, providing for the filing of a budget as required by state law. Is that it? Providing that the ordinance shall be cumulative of all ordinances, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 842 with Exhibit A being amended to the budget that will be posted immediately online after this meeting in the total amount of $13,910,733.
I'm sorry. Pause for just a second, Mayor. Because I think as we were balancing that, that number changed one more time. So let me give you a correct number. Just 1 second. One more second. I got to find out where I'm looking at it for. It doesn't have all funds on there. It's got it broken up by funds. Oh, if it's not one thing, it's another today. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm sorry, the number 13 million needs to be updated. Hold on. It hasn't updated yet. One more second. I'm going to love budget season next year. Update. There we go. 13,910,733, is that what you have?
Yes.
Okay, that is correct. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Just a couple of quick overviews, just for the record. The budget has been updated as amended. It is currently updating on the website, so due to technology, a couple of pages may be delayed, but as you review it on the website, there's a timestamp. Most recent update was delivered to the website as of 9:08 p.m. on September 9th, 2025. So as long as the timestamp on the website underneath the charts or graphs that you review are reading 9:08 p.m., that is the most recent, as amended, as approved and discussed by council budget. Do definitely want to thank Susan for all her work, and I'm very proud of the budget we've delivered to you because of all the challenges, but I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You guys can see the book, and it's on the website. I'll go more in depth next week.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, would you poll council?
Place 1. Aye. Place 2. Aye. Place 3.
Aye.
Place 5,
No.
place 6,
Aye.
Mayor,
No.
motion carried.
City manager's report?
Just a couple of quick things. So tomorrow is the homecoming parade. I know it kind of snuck up on us. We didn't plan anything for this year, but if anybody would like to participate in the parade, I plan on having my truck there. I've got plenty of room. We'll make it happen. We'll have some other vehicles there, so if you as city council members would love to still ride and participate, we will make a full deal out of it. We're going to be meeting up at the high school starting at 5:30 tomorrow, so if you are available and would like, 5. Starts at 5:30, okay. So if you would like to participate in the parade, feel free to come up there, and we will make sure to have a chariot ready for you. Other than that, just one last-minute reminder that we do have a special meeting next week on the proposed tax rate. That'll be Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Other than that, nothing else, Mayor.
Mayor's report, I don't have anything, so time's 9:17, we adjourned.